Hey, welcome everybody. This is CP Cards and Dice, and welcome to another presentation of our 2019 Mets. This is this is game 121, and it's going to be between the Mets and the Kansas City Royals. It's Noah Syndergaard, Thor, versus Mike Montgomery. I'll tell you a little bit about them in a second. Noah Syndergaard in 2019 was 10-8 with a 4.28 ERA, while Mike Montgomery was 3-9 with a 4.95 ERA. And Montgomery in our replay is 2-4 with a 5.07 ERA. And I'll tell you a little bit about Noah when he comes to when he takes the mound. But right now, it's going to be the Mets leading it off here in Kansas City. We are in Kauffman Stadium, beautiful downtown Kansas City. And let me go over the Mets lineup quickly. It's Ahmed Rosario, whose card took a beating yesterday when the wind knocked over my beer. And it happened to be a Guinness, so it was a dark beer. And it's going to be Rosario at short leading off. Batting second is the left fielder, J.D. Davis. Batting third is the first baseman, Pete Alonso. In the cleanup spot is Michael Conforto in right field. Batting fifth is the DH, Todd Frazier. Batting sixth is center fielder Juan Lagares. Batting seventh is Joe Panic, the second baseman. Batting eighth, Thomas Nido. He's relieving the everyday catcher, Wilson Ramos. He's in the eighth spot. And then batting ninth is Ruben Tejada. He just joined the Mets. He's an original Met from that 2015 season of World Series season for the Mets. He played on that, and he was hurt in the playoff game versus the Dodgers at second base. He had a leg fracture. And that brought on the rule that you can't overslide the bag and you can't go out of the base path with your slide and so on and so forth. So we're right about to get started. The Mets on paper look like they have the advantage. We'll see what happens. Now, this is deep drive baseball. The way you roll this is you use 3D10. The red, you read the red and the white. And that's going to be off the pitcher because anything over 50 is off the pitcher card. This is going to tell you what kind of an out. That falls into the out range. 81 to 99, that's a 93 is an out range. And a 6 is a ground ball to the shortstop. And that's going to be 1 up. and one down. So a 93 and a 6 was, hard hit ball. Scooped by Lopez at short over to first. O'Hearn. And that's one away. J.D. Davis. 26 off Davis is a strikeout. So curveball gets Davis. 2 away. Pete Alonso. And a 23 is a strikeout. That's back-to-back Ks for Montgomery, the lefty. Go to Whit Merrifield, not Whitfield, but Whit Merrifield. And let's take a look at Whit Merrifield is a second baseman leading off. It's Alex Gordon in left field batting second. Hunter Dozier, I believe it is, at third base and batting third. Batting fourth is Jose Soler. Bret Phillips, the right fielder, batting fifth. The center fielder, Starling, batting sixth. Batting seventh is Ryan O'Hearn. The first baseman batting eighth is M. Valoria, the catcher, and batting ninth is Nick Lopez, the shortstop. All right, so here goes the pitch from Noah Syndergaard. Noah Syndergaard in our replay is 9-5 with a 3.88 ERA. In reality, he was 10-8 with a 4.28 ERA. Here's the pitch. So you read the red first. It's a 36. That's going to be an out. That's line and caught by the shortstop. So Merrifield lines out. And it's Alex Gordon. Alex Gordon is the only player I can see on this lineup from the 2015 World Series team. 45 and a 4, and that is chopped to the third baseman Tejada. Waits for it. Throw to first and in time. 5-3. And it's Hunter Dozier. And an 85 and a 1, and that's popped up right side. Goes for it, makes the catch, and that retires the side. So deep drive baseball moves pretty quickly. Hey there, Philip Reynolds. Good morning to you, sir. Hey, History Maker Golf. An inside pitch separated last night. Hallelujah. Oh, that's exciting for you, Philip. You're going to really like that. And just give yourself time with the inside pitch. It's got a lot of depth to it. It's got a lot of detail. Pretty much you'll pick it up pretty quickly. The base running sometimes is a little bit of a learning curve on that, so be patient with yourself. It takes about a month. Play a game every day, and if you can, but it does. That's what I did, and eventually I really got it. All right, so Michael Conforto against Mike Montgomery. Here's the pitch. That's a 61, and that's a ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. That's the first hit of the game. Michael Conforto is on at first base. Todd Frazier, we're going to roll that 20-sided die. And we don't get it. And a 27 is a defensive lookup, and that's a 72. It goes very simply. Here you go to 72. It's a ground ball to second baseman, and bobbled by Merrifield, and no throw. So it's going to be an E4, flashes on the scoreboard. Merrifield, who's a pretty good fielder, just can't handle that one. So it's first and second, nobody out. Juan Lagares. Now, Juan Lagares was on that 2015 World Series team. The World Series was between the Kansas City Royals and the New York Mets. Here's the pitch to Juan Lagares. That's a 50. That's a deep drive. Now, this is not a home run ballpark, I'll tell you right now. So let's see what happens. Very tricky. 15 is going to be a deep drive to left field. Back goes Gordon to the track and runs it down. And everybody's going to get back. So that's out number 1. Joe Panic now with runners on first and second and only 1 out. We throw that to see if there's a wild pitch. Well, 1 would kind of get us to look on the chart. So here's the pitch to Panic, and a 79. That's going to be a defensive lookup. And a 23 is going to take us to the range chart. And a 61 on the range chart is a ground ball in the hole. And Nick Lopez does not get to it. So that is going to score Conforto, I believe. Let's double check. We may have to roll on this. No, it's not going to. Wait a second. Yes, it does score Conforto. So it's a ground ball through the hole, and Conforto is going to be waved home, cut off by Lopez. Frazier's going to stop at second. So the Mets are up 1-0. Let's go back because we're going to do that a little bit differently. Oh, wait, Frazier's going to take the extra base as well, it seems. Hold on a second. Let me double check this. Yes. Okay, with an S+. All right. So Frazier is going to take, so it is going to be, there we go. All right, first and third. So Joe Panic with a RBI single. And it's Thomas Nido. Infield is going to be 2 outs. We're going to bring in the corners in and the middle of the infield halfway, trying to get that double play. Here goes. That's a 12, and a 0-3 is line base hit, and that's going to send Panic to third. Panic should be a average base runner, and he will make it to third on the S+. So an RBI single for Thomas Nido. First and third, 2-0 Mets. 1 out. Same thing, corners in. Middle of the infield is halfway. And it's a 92 and a 7. And that's off Montgomery's card. A 7 is a fly ball to left field. Panic. Let's see if he can score on that. It's going to say that he may score on that. So we're going to have to roll to see if he'll score. And let's see, Panic is the average runner. So let's see if he can score on this. We're going to look at the choice chart, a 31, and he is safe. Throw is offline. It's a sacrifice fly for Ruben Tejada. 2 outs down. The Mets are up 3-0. And it's Noah Syndergaard. Here's the pitch. Wait a second. No, Noah Syndergaard is not batting because this is a DH game. So let's pull his card. And let's put him. There he is. Okay. So there's no pitchers batting today. Let's remove the pitcher batting cards. All right. So it goes back to the top of the order. And it's Ahmed Rosario. Here's the pitch, a 37 and a 6. And that is ripped to short, backhanded by Lopez. Long throw to first in the dirt, but scooped out by O'Hearn for the 3rd out. So that's a 6-3 put out, and that retires the side, but not before the Mets pick up 3 runs. They lead it 3-0, go to the bottom of the 2nd. Pitch from Syndergaard, an 83 and a 0. That's line and caught by the shortstop. Next is Bret Phillips, and 35 and a 3, and that is a slow grounder to the 3rd baseman who charges it, lets one fly to first in time. Bubba Starling with 2 outs, and a 51. That's a deep drive. And a 15, and that ball is a deep drive to the field. Back goes Davis to the track, looks up, gone. Bubba Starling. 3-1 now. Took that Noah Syndergaard slider and drove it into left field seats. Ryan O'Hearn, lefty. That's a 0-3, and that's going to be line base hit center field, played on a hop by Lagares. That's a 2-out single. And it's Melbris Viloria. Here's the pitch, 88, and that's a 6, and that is ripped to the shortstop. Rosario fires the first in time. That retires the side, 6-3. But the Royals pick up a run, and it's 3-1 Mets in the top of the 3rd. J.D. Davis. It's a 39 and a 2, and that's a hard hit to the first baseman, O'Hearn. He's going to take it himself. Pete Alonso's next with 1 out. That's a deep drive. Oh, well, that's a deep drive. Let's see what happens with Alonso's card. And a 74 is going to be off the wall. Pete Alonso connects, drives one off the right center field wall. And he's going to go in there with a stand-up double. Michael Conforto's up next. And here's the pitch, 24, and that is a strikeout. So High Cheese gets Conforto. With 2 outs now, it's going to be the Todd Frazier. And a 17 is strike 3, and that retires the side. Nicky Lopez against Noah Syndergaard. That's a 0-3, and that's a deep drive. And a 92 is going to be a deep drive to right field, and back goes Conforto to the track, is back up against the wall, and makes the catch. Whitfield with 1 out. 73 is strike 3, so Syndergaard blows a fastball by Whitfield. Alex Gordon with 2 outs. And a 46 and a 5, and that's going to be hard hit at the shortstop, who waits for it. Now charges, fires the first in time. Top of the 4th. Juan Lagares, Mike Montgomery, 3-1 Mets, 2-6. That's a defensive check. And it's going to be a range check. And a 77 is going to be a fly ball center field. Bubba Starling out there makes the catch, and we're just going to double check his numbers. I memorized them from the beginning. He's a good center fielder. He runs that down. F8, 1 up, 1 down. Next is Joe Panic. He's got an RBI single in this game, and that's a fly ball to right, shallow right. Racing in is Bret Phillips. He gets there. F9, 2 up, 2 down, and it's Thomas Nido. And a 48, and that's line caught by the third baseman, Dozier. Bottom of the 4th, Hunter Dozier leading us off. 72, strike 3, Noah Syndergaard gets Dozier. Soler, power hitting Soler, 61. That's a ground ball and through the left side past the outstretched glove of Rosario. So 1 out, 1 on, and it's Bret Phillips. I roll that. And it's a 0-2. That's going to be ball 4. So Phillips walks. Bubba Starling with runners on first and second. No wild pitch. And a 16. And that's going to be strike 3. Syndergaard. High fastball. Gets Starling. Now it's O'Hearn. And a 13 off O'Hearn, and that's a strikeout. So Noah Syndergaard reaches back for a little extra and strikes out both O'Hearn and Starling to end the inning. Ruben Tejada, top of the 5th. Pitch from Montgomery. And we're going to check. He can go 8, and Syndergaard can go 10. So 8 is going to be coming around soon already. He's at 5. This will be 5, and he's gone. If he's gone through the lineup twice, that's 7. This is probably his last inning. It's an 88 and a 7. That's a fly ball left field. Over is Gordon. 1 down. Ahmed Rosario. 77. That's going to be defensive check. Let's see what kind of defensive check. It's going to be 70 in the error area, and that's a second baseman. That's going to be a ground ball to Merrifield, and throw is high, and he's going to be safe at first base, and that's going to be an E4. That's the second error on Whit Merrifield, who plays all sorts of positions. But he's struggling today at second base. So Rosario's on at first. We're going to try to steal with Rosario. So Rosario's going to be at least a 3. Nope, too high. I'm going to throw a wild pitch there. And now we're going to roll for J.D. Davis. Rosario's on at first on that error. J.D. Davis, 1 on, 1 out. And it's a 93 and a 3. And that is a hard hit ground ball to the third baseman. Dozier goes to second to Merrifield for 1. The relay to first in time. Nice stretch by O'Hearn. And it's a round the horn, 5-4-3. No, you're going to have to do this down here, 5-4-3. And that retires the side. All right, we go to the bottom of the fifth. This game's really moving along. Valoria. And it's a 54, and that's going to be line base hit right field. So it's a single for Valoria. Nicky Lopez. It's a 10, and that is line drive, base hit, center field, played on a hop by Lagares. Valoria stops at second. First and second now with nobody out. Noah Syndergaard. A little bit of a jam here early on in the bottom of the fifth inning with Merrifield. That's a 96 and a 0. That's line and caught by the shortstop, and no chance for a double play, so it's L6. Whit Merrifield lines out for the first out. Gordon at 76, and that's strike 3. Gordon strikes out. 2 down. Hunter Dozier. Uh-oh, that's a deep drive off Hosier's bat. And this could give the 75. No, that's going to be off the wall. And Nick Lopez may be able to score on this. He is going to score on this. This game is tied on the 2-out double by Hunter Dozier. So the score is 3-3 now in the bottom of the fifth. Dozier is at second base. Soler the batter. Noah Syndergaard. And a 31, and that is strike 3, and that retires the side. But the Royals tie it up. We get a new pitcher now. So we're going to check the roster. I'm using Replay Baseball PC game to keep track of all the lineup. Do the lineups for me. It does everything for me. This is a beautiful thing. I mean, let's see. Because right now, let me double check just something. Let me double check, see how many times he's been through the lineup. Montgomery's been through the lineup twice, and he can only go 8. He's given up a run. That's 3. Unless they're all one was earned, so that's 3, and he's pitched 5 innings, so that's going to be 8. So he can't go anymore. He's used up his 8 points. So we're going to bring in a new pitcher, and let's see who is it going to be. All right, I'm going to bring in somebody named Jacob Barnes. So Jacob Barnes is going to come in. He can go an inning. I feel like there's something stuck on here. No. Nice. All right, so Barnes is in there. He's going to face Alonso. Here's a pitch from Barnes. It's a 99 and a 1, and that's popped up right side. Second baseman, Merrifield is there. Conforto's next. And a 25 and a 7. That's going to be a strikeout. 2 up, 2 down. And now it's the Todd Frazier. 60, and that's going to be ground ball and through into center field for a base hit. 2-out single for the Todd father. Juan Lagares is up. And a 60 is going to be line base hit left field. Gordon cuts it off in the gap. Stopping at second is Frazier. First and second. Joe Panic, the lefty. And we can have some fun here. Let's go. It's the top of the 6th. We're going to let him face this Panic. Panic's not really a big hitter. Oh, that's foul back. All right, here goes. 58. That's going to be ground ball, base hit. And with 2 outs, we're going to try to score Frazier on this. With 2 outs, going to try to score Frazier. And, Frazier's going to hold up. Looks like he's going to hold up here. 79. He is fast. But 79 is going to be a hold. All All right, so bases are loaded for Thomas Nido, and we're going to bring a new pitcher in here. Let's see who we're going to bring in. Is Zimmer in there? No. Oh, let's see. Hold on a second. Jake Newberry. Jake Newberry's going to come in. All right. So let's see if Newberry can get us out of trouble. American League games go much faster because you don't have to do all the double switches and all the pinch hitters. Thomas Nido with the bases loaded. Jake Newberry. That's a 68, and that is strike 3, and that retires the side. Big strikeout by Jake Newberry. And I never rolled for the wild pitch. There it is. No wild pitch. All right, Bret Phillips against Noah Syndergaard. And that was a 90, and it rolled over to a 10, and that's going to be strike 3 on Bret Phillips. Terrible hitter. Terrible season. Bubba Sterling, 13, and that is a strikeout. Back-to-back Ks for Noah Syndergaard. Seems that he's getting stronger as the game progresses. Hey there, Turbocharged Sports. Sounds good, Philip. I like your plans getting the games from History Maker Baseball. I'm going to probably pull out my History Maker Baseball this weekend and play a game. Don't know which game. We'll see what happens. Okay, so it's Ryan O'Hearn with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. The score is tied at 3 apiece. This is New York at Kansas City. Game 121 in the year 2019. Oh, boy. That is line base hit to right field. Conforto steps in front of Lagares. Gets it in, so it's a 2-out single for O'Hearn. Valoria. And an 89 and a 9. That's a fly ball center field. Racing is Lagares, catches up to it. And that retires the side. Ruben Tejada starts us off. Newberry can still go. According to the rules, he can go another inning because he came in and retired 1 or 2 batters without allowing a base runner. So he's going to face Tejada. And a 66 is going to be ball 4. So Tejada walks. Rosario's up. And that's a deep drive off Rosario's bat. And a 54 is going to be a pull down the line and into the corner. Alex Gordon after it. Tejada, wonder what his running speed is. Oh, very slow. So he's going to stop at third base. So it's a walk and a double, and that puts runners on second and third for J.D. Davis. That's going to bring in the infield. Going to roll to see if we get that wild pitch. Nope. So infield's in, and that's an 80 and a 2. And a 2 is going to be ground ball to the first baseman. And they're going to hold up with nobody out. That's an automatic rule of mine. So it's going to be 3 unassisted. Everybody holds. It's a home rule with nobody out. Everybody holds on that, just to simplify it and get the games going. It's going to be a G3 on this. Everybody holds, so 1 out. Okay, now it's Pete Alonso. And we are going to walk Pete Alonso intentionally. Okay, and we're going to bring in a lefty to face the lefty Conforto with the bases loaded and 1 out. Who's the left? We got Hill. Let's see if we can track down Hill. Do I have Flynn available? I do not have Flynn available. I have Hill and I have Lovelady. Those are my 2 lefties. Let's see if I have them available to me. There he is. Tim Hill is going to come in. All right, we're going to roll for that wild pitch opportunity. We're looking for the 1, and whoa, no, that's a 7. Almost. All right, infield's in. Michael Conforto. Big opportunity for Michael. 34 is going to be an out, but it's a 9. That's a fly ball center field. Tejada's very slow, so that's not going to be. That's going to be. Let me double check. So fly out center field. Very slow. Oh, even a very slow is a question mark on that fly ball center field. Let's double check that. 9 on Conforto. So we may be able to score him. Let's try to score him, see if we can do it. So Tejada's going to try to tag up, and he is so very slow. He's going to hold up. Not going to go. So it's an F8, 2 outs now. And the Todd father, Frazier's up. All right, here goes. And that's a 23 and a 7. That's strike 3, and that retires the side. So the Mets leave the bases loaded. It's a 3-3 game. Noah Syndergaard. He can go 10. He's gone 6. Plus he's given up a run. Plus he's been through the lineup 3 times. This is going to be his 4th time. So that is 3 plus 1 is 4. Plus 1 is 4. And in that 5th inning, what did he do in that 5th inning? Let me see. 6 and 4 is 10. So he's already used up his 10 points. So we're going to bring in a new pitcher for the Mets. And it's going to be Lugo is coming in. Probably the Mets' best pitcher, and you want him in a game like this, a close game where the still undecided. So let's pull out Seth Lugo. Seth Lugo went over 100 innings. Actually, no, he had over 100 strikeouts, one of the few relievers with over 100 strikeouts in 80 innings. So Lugo's in there against Nicky Lopez. Bottom of the 7th, 3-3. Deep drive baseball. 82 and a 1, and that's going to be popped up. Right side, Joe Panic calls everybody off, makes the catch. Terry Whitfield now. An 84 and a 3, and that's a ground ball. Chop to Tejada. Tejada up with it, fires to first, and just gets Whitfield by half a step. He can really jet down that line. Alex Gordon. Whoa. What was that? Here's the pitch, a 24 and a 5, and that's going to be defensive check. 33 is going to take us to the range, and a 59 says shortstop, and that is a ball that is hit slowly towards Rosario. He charges and tries to barehand it, and nope, it's going to be a base hit for Gordon. So Rosario charged that slow roller to short, but could not get the handle on it. So it's a 2-out single for Alex Gordon. And Hunter Dozier. Going to roll that one. And a 71, and that's strike 3, and that retires the side. Top of the 8th, Juan Lagares leads us off. Tim Hill should be pulled by now. Let's pull Tim Hill here at the top of the 8th. There's we have a lefty coming up. Oh yeah, we have. You know what? We're gonna let what did Hill do in that last inning when he pitched? Let's take a quick peek. Didn't walk, fly out, a strikeout. Yeah, so he's able to go another inning. So we're going to let Tim Hill go another inning. Here goes to Juan Lagares. It's a snake eyes, and that is strike 3. Joe Panic, lefty on lefty, a 90 and a 4, and that is hard hit at the second baseman. Merrifield whips it over to O'Hearn. 2 out. Thomas Nido. And a Snake Eyes is a strikeout, and that retires the side. All right, Seth Lugo, inning number 2 against Soler. That's a 64, and that's a K. Bret Phillips now, 17. Back-to-back strikeouts for Seth Lugo, and it's Bubba Starling. And a 56 is lined, no, hit by pitch, nicked him, and he's going to trot down to first base. And he may be able to, nope, not going to steal. Not going to steal, but we are going to have to roll for the wild pitch potential, and nothing there. Ryan O'Hearn, it's a 35 and a 1, and that's popped up right side. Second baseman Panic, and that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down, go to top of the ninth, all tied at 3. Mets have 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Royals have 3 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors. Here for the, going to bring in a new pitcher. We're going to bring Ian Kennedy, who is their closer. Let's bring in Ian Kennedy right now. You can go 1 inning. All right, and that's it. All right, let's do it. Ruben Tejada is leading us off. 82 is going to be a defensive check. 18 is going to take us to range. 76 says fly ball center field, and in the gap, Tejada gives it a ride, and Starling Castro runs it down. Nice play by Castro in center field. He can really cover some ground out there. Ahmed Rosario now against Ian Kennedy. Say 39 and a 2, and that is a comebacker. Kennedy off the mound, picks it up and fires the first in time. Gets Rosario by half a step. 2 out, 2 up, 2 down, and it's J.D. Davis. Oh, that's foul back. And an 85 and a 5, and that is hard hit at the shortstop. Lopez fires the first, and in time, Villoria. Lugo's out. Lugo has to be replaced. We're going to bring in, let's see who's coming up. Villoria's a lefty. Got 2 lefties coming up, so we're going to bring in Wilson. So if you get Justin Wilson's coming in. So Lugo did a good job, pitched 2 innings. And it's going to be Justin Wilson versus Mabrice Villoria, the catcher. It's a 19, and that's a K. 1 up, 1 down. Next is Nicky Lopez, shortstop with a 16. And that is a fly ball center field. Over is Lagares. Under it, makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down, and it's Whitfield. 81. And that's going to be off the pitcher. 81 is going to be defensive check. 19 is going to take us to range. 71 is a line shot to left field. J.D. Davis hesitates, and it drops in front of him, plays it on a hop. So his inexperience out there in left field backfires, and it's a 2-out single. Merrifield is always a threat to steal. He's a 2C, +1 for Wilson. And let me see Nito. Nito should be a plus something. He is a +1, so that's going to be a 4C. And that translates into 4C translates into 0 to 23 is a stolen base. Let's roll, see if he can get it. And, oh, we just missed it. 4C is 27. There goes Whitfield, and he is out at second base. Great throw by Thomas Nido to get Whitfield. So that's a 2. What was that? A lefty was up. That's going to be a 2-6. And that's going to retire the side. We go into extra, getting some free baseball here for all of you guys. Pete Alonso. Deep drive. Oh, it's a fun game, man. It's a fun game. Try it out for $1. You get the World Series teams. Well, I got like 6 tutorials for all different parts of the game. The cards, endurance, fielding. It's very simple, but just in case you want to make sure, you can look at the tutorials. They're all 15 minutes each. Pete Alonso. Now, Ian Kennedy's going to have to get pulled here because he can only go 1. So we're going to bring in, I guess, let's see who we got here. Barlow, if available. Lopez. George Lopez, but let's see if we can bring in Barlow. Zimmer, the starter. Flynn is a lefty. Boxberger, do I have Boxberger? No. Peralta, no. Barlow, there he is. All right, Barlow's coming in. Pete Alonso. Scott Barlow, 97 and a 2, and that is a comebacker. Barlow feels his position, throws out. Alonso, Michael Conforto's next. Here's the pitch. A 48 and a 9er, and that is a fly ball lined to center field. Starling Castro's there. 2 up, 2 down. And here's Todd Frazier. Pitch from Barlow. It's a 13, and that is ball 4. So Frazier's on it first. Gonna throw that 20-sided die. There's no wild pitch. That's an 11, and that's going to be strike 3. Lagares down swinging. That retires the side. 3 up, 3 down for Barlow. All right, we're going to have to bring in a new pitcher now for the Mets. And it's going to be, Gagno is gone. It's going to be Brad Brock. Oh, Paul Sewall is there. Let's bring him in. He hasn't pitched for a while. So I'm using the rosters belonging to Replay Baseball PC game. I'm looking for Sewald. There he is, Paul Sewald. He can go 1 inning. Most of these modern pitchers can only go 1 inning. Alex Gordon. And that's a 19, and that is strike 3. 1 up, 1 down. Hunter Dozier's next with a 90, a 96, and a 4, and that's a ground ball to Panic, who waits for it now, charges over to first, and in time, 4-3. And it's Jorge Soler, 94 and a 1, and that's popped up. Infield is Panic, who calls for it, makes the catch, and that retires the side. We go to top of the 11th. Barlow now. So Barlow's going to pitch to 1 batter fatigued. That means, and I'll show you what that means. That's a 50 advantage, 50-point advantage, an 87. So an 87 becomes a 27, and a 27. Either one is going to be an out. Oh wait, it's yeah, he can make it a 27, which goes from a defensive check to an out, and a 2 is going to be a ground ball to the first baseman. Actually, wait a second. The advantage is not for the pitcher, but it's for the batter, and the batter is going to keep the defensive check. So a 56, that's going to be an error range. Is that 56 or 59? Doesn't matter. All right. 56, not going to worry about that. 56 is going to be a ball, little number in front of the plate. Valoria out from behind, and he's going to make a great play. Fires the first, and in time. It's going to be a 2-3 put out. So we're going to go 1 more. Nito, 1 more fatigued. Starting to run out of pitchers, 42. And that 42 could become a 92, and either one is going to be an out. So it's a hard hit ground ball at the first baseman, O'Hearn, who races Nito to the bag. 3 unassisted. And now we're going to bring in a new pitcher, and that's going to be, who do we have? Staymont. Looks like Staymont. Josh Staymont's coming in. We need Josh Staymont to get out of this inning by not allowing anybody on base. Otherwise, he's going to be fatigued in the next inning. But we're quickly but surely running out of pitchers. So it's going to be Tejada versus Staymont. Here's a pitch at 21, and that's strike 3, and that retires the side. So Staymont can go the whole next inning, which helps us out big time. All right, bottom of the 11th now, 3-3. Bret Phillips. Paul Sewald is going to go a couple of batters, and it's going to be a 14 or a 64, and it's going to be a strikeout either way. So sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't do anything. So Sewald is going fatigued right now for these players. 68, that's going to be a strikeout there. It's going to be an 18, which is also a strikeout. Back-to-back Ks for Paul Sewald. And now we're going to bring in a new pitcher for the Mets. O'Hearn is a lefty. We're going to bring in Avilan. Crazy game, modern baseball. So Avilan is going to go here. He's going to get an advantage because he's a lefty specialist. We could bring in a pinch hitter, but let's see who I would bring in as a pinch hitter here. So we can counteract. We got Ortega. We got 3 guys on the bench: Cuthbert, Ortega, and Denny. Ortega is a shortstop, so we're not bringing him. Cuthbert, let's see if he can play first. If he can, we can bring him in. For Mondesi, Cuthbert. Cuthbert can play first base, so he's going to come in. So that's going to counteract the advantage that Avilan had. And it's an 89 and an 8, and that's a fly ball center field. Can of corn. All right. And that's going to be, and we're going to put Cuthbert at first base. And Staymont can still stay and pitch this inning, so we're good. He's going to face Rosario here in the top of the 12th. It's a 33 and a 5, and that is a hard hit ground ball at the second baseman, Merrifield. Pivots and gets his man, J.D. Davis, with a 63, and that is ball 4. Let's have base runner, Pete Alonso. And a 20 and a 2 is strike 3. Alonso down swinging. Michael Conforto. 42 and a 4, and that's a ground ball to the third baseman. Dozier goes the short way, 5-4, and that retires the side. Wow. Bottom of the 12th. Chester Cuthbert against Avilan. And a 57, that's a ground ball and through into center field for a base hit. So the, not Cuthbert, wait a second. It was, he batted already. Hold on, it's Valoria. And the 57 is still going to be a single, so Valoria's on. He's very slow. Nicky Lopez is going to bat. Nope. No bunting here. 42 and an 8. It's a fly ball, center field. 1 on, 1 out for Whit Merrifield. All right, here's the pitch. 0-1. And that's going to be a deep drive off Merrifield's bat. So this could be trouble. Let's see. It could be out of here. And it is a ball that's pulled down the line into the left field corner. Going after it is Davis. Valoria is going to be waved home, and Merrifield is going to go for 3. Valoria is safe, and Merrifield safe at home. Game is over. going to be a walk-off triple by Whit Merrifield against Luis Avilan. Final score is going to be KC 4, New York 3. And Stamont's going to get the victory. He's 2-1. Avilan's going to take the loss. He's 0-2. The hero, the walk-off hero, of course, is Whit Merrifield. But the overall MVP is Hunter Dozier, who had 2 big RBIs, according to the game itself. And the final line score is Mets 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The Royals 4 runs, 11 hits, and 2 errors. Mets just had struggled at the plate. That was for sure. Could not get anything going. Syndergaard gave up 3 runs in 6 innings. Lugo went 2, gave up no runs. Wilson went 1, gave up no runs. Sewell went 1.2, gave up no runs. And then it was Luis Avilan, who gave up a run, took the loss. And the Royals used 7 pitchers. The Mets used 5. And I think we did this in about 51 minutes, which is pretty fast for a 12-inning game that used, 5 and 7, 12 pitchers and 12 innings. We did it in 51 minutes. So this goes to show you how quickly deep drive baseball plays. The Royals won it by a score of 4-3 in 12 innings. On a leadoff single and then a triple by Whit Merrifield off of Luis Avilan. That was the Mets' 5th pitcher of the game. So this is CP Cards and Dice, and I'll tell you the Mets fall to 65-57. The Royals are 60-63. And we're going to go to the next game. I'll tell you who's due up in the next game. And we're going to play this day out, automatic play the day, and it takes me to the next day. And then it'll take me to the Mets game, and then I'll tell me who the pitching matchup is. It's going to be deGrom, great, versus Junis. Oh, that's going to be fun. I'm already excited, and I will play that in a little while. I think I'm going to take a little break. This was a game long, a little bit longer than what I expected. So, Jacob Junis, there he is. And for the Mets, it's going to be deGrom, Jacob deGrom. Always a blast to have Jacob pitching. Plus, this is a pitcher's ballpark. Not easy to hit a home run here. You get all the cards with deep drive baseball, so you don't have to worry about it. If you want to do an actual replay with actual lineups, you don't have to worry because you're going to get all the players. That's something that I really need because I don't like to invent stuff. Although with the one that was really easy to do is they actually send you the formula. You can buy the formula for $5 and you can make your own cards. That's with History Maker Baseball. So that's easy to do. Whenever you need an extra player, you just have a blank card and you can just write it out real quick. It just takes a couple of seconds. That's the one where it's easiest, I think, to create the cards. So I really like that aspect of it. And that's it. So the next game is game 2 in this 3-game set. It's going to be Jacob Junis, who was 9-14 with a 5.24 ERA against Jacob deGrom, who was 11-8 with a 2.43 ERA. And in the game, deGrom in this replay is 13-3, while Junis is 9-7. So Junis is they're both doing a little bit better than they did in actuality. And let's set up the Mets lineup. This is how I do it. It shows me the actual lineup right there. Panic goes in the second slot. That's the change. And it's Alonso, Conforto, Wilson Ramos. Lagares is still in this game. Nito's out. Tejada's out. And Davis is out. We're going to have Altair, Guillorme, and Ramos in this next game. Those are basically the changes I have to make. Altair, Guillorme, and Ramos in this next game. done pretty fast, right? Put this aside, and it's going to be Lagares goes towards the, let's see. And then it's going to be Ramos and Guillorme. Frazier is in between. There it is, done. I'm ready for my next game. I just got to check the lineup. So a Replay Baseball PC game gives you all the schedules, keeps all the stats, gives you the actual lineups, and gives you the rosters. So you can play pretty close to exactly what happened. It's going to be Dozier, Soler, Chester, Cuthbert. Then it's going to be Phillips. What happened to Phillips? What did I do with him? Phillips, Starling, O'Hearn, Viloria, and Lopez. Let's see. Is there anything? Yeah, that's going to be it. So Cuthbert is going to be at third base, and the first baseman is going to be O'Hearn again. There's somebody that I shouldn't have there, and it's going to be Starling is out in this next game. Starling is out, so it's going to be Whitfield, Dozier, Soler, Cuthbert, Bret Phillips, O'Hearn, Viloria, and Lopez. There you go. All set up. Kauffman Stadium, it's real hard to hit a home run off the ballpark card. You can still hit home runs, but it has to be off the deep drive card on the players. Some players are going to have a hard time hitting home runs. But other players will still hit them. So, excuse me. And you can get sent to the deep drive chart from the pitcher's card or the batter's card. Also, this aspect of the deep drive reminds me a little bit of the Status Pro, where they used to have the clutch batting section on the cards. That's a little bit like this is, plus the interaction with the ballpark, right? The pitcher-batter interaction and the ballpark, that's kind of like a tryout effect of payoff pitch, inside pitch. So it's very modern, yet it maintains the simplicity of an APA, where you pretty much have an idea of what the result is, but it is a 50-50 game, so it gives you additional result opportunities, kind of like Stratomatic. It's really a kind of conglomeration of a bunch of a synthesis, if you will, of multiple games. It's a very simple game system. It's very easy to check the range. You can see how quickly I do it. There's better charts than these, but they're more in depth and you have to read a sentence or two, and I'm too lazy to do that, but those really give play-by-play of what happens on those range and error checks. And you just roll the D20 for the wild pitches, pass balls, pickoffs, and balks, and it happens pretty realistically. And you get everything you could want in a baseball game in Deep Drive Baseball. So I'm very, very happy with this game, and it's very easy to play. Flows very, very smoothly, barely any stops. I don't know what else to say about it. And the cards are super easy to read. Super easy to read. So, and that's it. So this is CP Cards and Dice saying, hey, I hope you enjoy. Hey, there's Salvador. Long time no see, my brother. Good to have you. I hope you're healthy, wealthy, and wise. What is the Mets record? The Mets record is 65-57. They're in second place in the NL East. Just a couple of games behind the Washington Nationals. We're in the second game in Kansas City at the Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. It's going to be Jacob Junis in this next game. I'm going to take a little break, and I'll come back later against Jacob deGrom. So these are usually very fast games when Jacob deGrom pitches, because he can pretty much, he pitches well enough to pretty much go the whole game usually. And that's it. So this is Deep Drive Baseball. Check it out. Striking distance, absolutely. So check out Deep Drive Baseball. You can go to deepdrivebaseball.com, and you can just pick up the PDF for $1 of the World Series, replay the World Series between the Astros and the Nationals. And I have 6 different tutorials. Oh, join the Facebook page. My Facebook page is Deep Drive Baseball. You can come there, and there's a lot of different information and conversations and so on and so forth. So do that, and this is a fun game. It's one of the games I play, and it's easy to play. It's fun, and it's got a lot of nuance and a lot of detail without making it complicated. That's what I think that the You know, a lot of the new games give you a lot of details, and they flow. They flow in the game. Sometimes it's an extra die roll or two, but it's part of the flow, and there's a lot of drama involved. So it's really nice. Like the deep drive chart is always drama because it's always going to be a fly ball, whether a deep fly ball that's caught or a deep fly ball that's off the wall or a deep fly ball that's over the fence. So that's the cool thing about the deep drive chart. I like that about that. So when you hit the deep drive chart, you can hit that off the pitcher or off the batter. And Junis has a pretty high deep drive chart, 50 to 55. So you can hit it on 6 different numbers. And over here, Rosario has 0 to 5-2, so you can hit it on 6 different numbers as well. So that's 12 different numbers. So that's what, over a 12% chance over on 100, because it's 50 here and 50 there, that you're going to get a deep drive chart, and then that takes you to see what happens. So this is going to be very cool. It's going to be an exciting game. I'm looking forward to it. The Mets lose the game we just played by a score of 4-3 in 12 innings. And we're ready to roll here for game 2 of the 3-game set. Thanks, guys. Better than Thursday. So, yeah. So good morning to all. I see everybody still here. And there is, I will start, I'm going to play a doubleheader. I'm going to play a doubleheader. Let's get started. I'll show you how quick this plays. Ahmed Rosario is up. Let me do the lineups. Ahmed Rosario is going to lead off. It's going to be Joe Panik. He came over to the Mets in mid-August in 2019. It's going to be Pete Alonso in the 3rd slot. Batting cleanup is the right fielder Michael Conforto. Batting 5th is Wilson Ramos, the catcher. Batting 6th is Todd Father Frazier, no longer with the Mets, but played with the Mets on a 2-year contract as a free agent. He's at 3rd base, has a decent year, hits about 22, 23 home runs. Shortstop, Luis Guillorme in the 7th slot. Center fielders, Juan Lagares, and center fielder. One of the 2 holdouts that the Mets have in the starting lineup from the 2015 World Series when they played the Kansas City Royals. And batting 9th is Aaron Altair, the left fielder. Here goes Jacob Junis. That's an 80 and a 3. That's going to be a defensive check, and I'll show you how quickly this is. That's a 90. So that's going to be in the error, and it's a fly ball to left field. Alex Gordon, I know he's going to catch that because he's an amazing. He heads towards the line and runs it down, so it's F7. Alex Gordon is a 4 or a 5 out there, so I know that he's going to run that down, and I noticed that right off the bat because I looked through the cards, and let's see if I'm right. Alex Gordon is a 4. Yep, 4 or 5. All right, so 1 up, 1 down. Next is Joe Panik. Here's the pitch from Junis. A 51 is a deep drive. And let's see, a 74 is going to be pulled down the line into the right field corner. And that's going to go for a double, stand-up double for Joe Panik. And throw that 20-sided die, looking for that 1, and that would make us check the wild pitch. Pete Alonso up. Here's the pitch, and a 30 is strike 3. Alonso down swinging. 1 on, 2 out. Michael Conforto with the 18, and that is, he gets plunked. So he's going to trot down to first base, and he's not rubbing it. That brings up Wilson Ramos. Wilson Ramos is a clutch ball player. And a 30 and a 3, and that is that's ripped to the first baseman. Diving stab, back on his feet, flips to Junis, 3-1, and that retires the side. Whit Merrifield, kept on calling him Whitfield. Whit Merrifield against deGrom, 16, line, base hit. He's going to try to steal. I think he does. Wait a second. He's a +1 for the catcher, and he's going to be a 3C. 3C. 3C's 0 to 15, and there he goes. And the throw down, not in time. So a single and a stolen base. I was watching a documentary on Ricky Henderson on MLB Network. Yeah. All right, so Gordon now with a runner on second, nobody out, and a 74, and that is a strikeout. Gordon down swinging. Nice slider by Jacob deGrom. Hunter Dozier. That's a 48 and a 7. That's a fly ball deep left field. Altair on the run in the gap and runs it down. Now this may allow the speedy Merrifield, who's very fast. Yeah, he's going to. It's a question mark whether he can move to third, and he's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. All right, it's just there's 2 out now, so he'll score from second base very easily. Soler is up. And a 57, and that is ball 4. So Soler walks. Cuthbert. And a 68, and that's strike 3, and that retires the side. So Jacob deGrom got into a little bit of a jam there and was able to work himself out of it. Todd Frazier against Jacob Junis, 0-4, as a line base hit to left. Played on a hop by Gordon. Frazier's on at first. Guillorme. And it's a 39 and a 2, and that is going to be a hard hit ground ball at the first baseman O'Hearn. He's going to go to Nicky Lopez at second, back to O'Hearn. 3-6-3 double play. 2 down. Juan Lagares. And a 43 and a 4 is a hard hit ground ball at the second baseman Merrifield. Up with it. Whips it to first in time. 3 up, 3 down. Bret Phillips, bottom of the second. No score. It's a 0-6, and that is ball 4. So Phillips walks. And let's see if he tries to steal. Oh, it could be. 0-9. I think he is going to make that steal. He's a 3A. He's a 2A there, but a +1 for the catcher. I believe it's a +1 or a +2. Ramos is a +1. That's going to become a 3A, and the 3A says 0-23 is a stolen base. We roll on 0-9, and that's, I don't remember if I rolled a wild pitch, but I did it there. Okay, so that's a stolen base. So Bret Phillips is a second, and it's going to be O'Hearn with nobody out. And a 77 and an 8 is a strikeout. O'Hearn down swinging. Mabris, Valoria, the catcher. And a 42, that's lined. Let's see if we can get a double play out of it. Line to the second baseman. And, he goes to second base and panics. No, Guillorme snuck up behind Phillips, and it's a double play. It's a 4-6 double play on the line drive. That doesn't happen very often, but it happened right here, and we're out of the inning. You have to roll 0 to 0-9, and I rolled a 0-9 for that to happen. All right. Altair. It's a 16, and that's a strikeout. 1 up, 1 down. Jacob Junis to Ahmed Rosario. And it's a 96 and a 3 is a hard hit ground ball to Cuthbert. He backhands it, long throw to first, and in time got Rosario by half a step. Panic with 2 outs, top of the third, no score. 64, and that's ball 4. So Panic is on at first. We're going to roll that 20-sided die. No wild pitch, 14, and that is back-to-back walks. Alonso trots down to first base, so 2 outs, first and second. Here is Michael Conforto with good power. See what happens, 38 and a 1, and that is popped up right side. O'Hearn. And he's under it, makes the catch, and that retires the side. All right, Nicky Lopez is leading it off against Jacob deGrom here in the bottom of the third. That's a 68, and that's a K. Fastballs gets blown by Lopez, And here is Whitfield, and that's a deep drive 26, and that's going to be off the wall and rolls away from Altair out there, and trying for third is going to be Whitfield, and here's the throw, and not in time, so it's a one-out triple by Whitfield. Infield is in for the Mets. Try for the wild pitch, nothing there. Alex Gordon, it's a 43 and a 5, and that's a hard hit ground ball, and with one out, Whitfield's going to hold on that. It's going to be a 6-3. And we got to do it on detail. I'm using Replay PC Game to keep track of all my stats. All right, 2 outs. Runner on third. Over the third, no score. Hunter Dozier, no wild pitch. 40 and a 3. That's a slow chopper to the first baseman, Alonso. He gets it, steps on the bag, and that retires the side. 3 unassisted. So the Royals failed to get that triple in, leave a man stranded at third base. Wilson Ramos against Junis. 24, and that is a 4, and that is hard hit at third base. Cuthbert, long throw in time. Todd Frazier, 41 and a 4, and again, hard hit grounder at Merrifield. 2 out, and Guillorme with 2 out. 18, and that's strike 3. Blows a fastball by Guillorme. That retires the side. deGrom against Soler, 0-9, and that's a line drive base hit center field. Played on a hop by Lagares. Wild pitch, nothing there. Chester Cuthbert, 11, and that is ball 4. So Jacob deGrom in trouble just like that. No wild pitch, Bret Phillips. You know what? You know what? I'm going to bunt in this case. I'm going to bunt in this scenario. I'm not a big bunter, but I will bunt here. 76, and that's a strikeout. So that's 2 strikes on Phillips. He's going to bunt again, a 98 and a 5, and that's going to be a successful bunt. Who's it to? Is Soler very slow? Let's see if Soler is very slow. Soler is very slow. He may go to third base on this. He is slow. And that 5 may allow us to go for the lead runner. Let's see. Hold on a second. A 5. No, 5 is a successful sacrifice. All right. And the 3 says it goes to the catcher. 2-3. So sacrifice hit or 2-4. But it's going to be second and third now with 1 out. Infield is in for the Mets. O'Hearn, the lefty. That's a 62, and that's going to be strike 3. So deGrom reaches back for a little extra and strikes out O'Hearn, and that brings us to Valoria with 2 outs. Runners on second and third. Here's the pitch, and a 91, and that is a ground ball to the shortstop, Guillorme. Throw to first in time, and that retires the side. So again, somehow, Jacob the Magician deGrom manages to get out of a tough inning. Junis versus Lagares. No score here at the top of the 5th. And both games have really, and this is going to be a ground ball and through for a single for Lagares. Lagares is going to try to steal. Let's see what Valoria doesn't have a plus or a minus, so he's got, but it's going to be a 2. So we're going to need a real low roll for a stolen base here, and we don't get it. Okay, so Altair. Let's roll that. No wild pitch. It's going to be a 34 and a 4, and that is a ground ball to second baseman Merrifield. He's going to flip to Lopez for the force. No throw to first. It's 4-6. Altair is on at first now, and he's fast. No steal rating, so he won't be stealing. Next is Ahmed Rosario. And it's an 82 and a 3, and that is a hard hit ball at third baseman Cuthbert over to second for 1, back to first, 5-4-3, double play, and that's going to retire the side. We're in the bottom of the 5th. As you can see, this game really moves Nicky Lopez, but you still get a little bit of everything. And a 49 and a 5. It's a chopper to second base. Panic waits for it. Over to first in time. 1 up, 1 down. Merrifield, 79 and a 2 is going to be a defensive check. And I'll show you just how fast this is. A roll there, a 90. That's going to take it to the error. And it's a fly ball left field. And that is Alex. Oh, no, Altair is out there. I don't know what Altair is. So Altair makes a great running catch in left field on a line shot. That would have been at least a double, if not a triple or more. But great catch by Altair in left field. He surprised me. He's a 4 out there, rated pretty highly. I thought that was going to drop in. Alex scored with 2 outs. And a 90 and an 8, and that is a fly ball center field. Lagares over and under it makes the catch. We go to the top of the 6th, no score. Joe Panic leads us off with a 29 and a 6, and that's a ground ball. Charged by Lopez, throws on the run in time. 1 up, 1 down. Pete Alonso, 34 and a 3, and that is a strikeout. 2 up, 2 down. Michael Conforto. 50, that's a deep drive off Conforto's card. See what happens here. Got a big opportunity for a home run. We got to roll low, and that's gone. Michael Conforto, deep drive, right field. Back goes Dozier to the track, to the wall. It's out of here. 1-0 Mets. Thanks to Michael Conforto. Finally, something good happens for the Mets. Wilson Ramos, 24 and a 4, and that is a hard hit ground ball to the third baseman who scoops it. Long throw to first in time. That retires the side. Dozier leading it off against deGrom. Bottom of the 6th, 84 and a 6. It's a fly to right. Conforto towards the line. Makes the catch. Jorge Soler with 1 out. 48 and a 5, and that's a hard hit ground ball to Panic. He backhands it. Now pivots, throws to first. Low, but scooped by Alonso for out number 2. And Chester Cuthbert. And an 84 and a 3, and that is a slow chopper to the third baseman, Frazier, who charges it, barehands it, throw to first in time. Great play. Web gem by the Todd Father Frazier, who leads us off in the top of the 7th. It's 1-0 Mets, 71, and that is going to be a strikeout. 1 out. Luis Guillorme on a 70th, back-to-back Ks. And Juan Lagares, 27, and that is a defensive check. It's going to be a range, and it's a 97. 97 is going to be lined. Falls in front of Dozier. There's no way he's a 5 out there. But if he is, he makes a beautiful diving catch. So let's see. Dozier, where was he? Hunter Dozier in right field, third baseman, right field. He's a 4. Oh, just misses it. Drops in front of him for a single. So Lagares on with a single. I think that's the second hit of the game. 2-out single for Juan Lagares. And we're going to have to slow up now because I got to start checking for endurance. Let's see how many times he's been through the lineup. Let's see. Okay, that's 3 times through the lineup. Plus, this is his 7th inning. So yeah, he's gone and he's given up a run. So that's going to be it for Junis. So we're going to bring in somebody. Let's see who we're going to bring in here. Going to bring in, oh no, that's a lefty. We got a righty. Going to bring in Barnes again. So Barnes is coming in. Jacob Barnes to relieve Junis. Did a nice job. Allowed 5 hits and a run. Got a runner at first base here. And Aaron Altair. No. It's a 57. That's a line drive base hit. That's going to allow Lagares to go to third, first and third now. Ahmed Rosario with 2 outs in first and third. The Mets have an opportunity here to get an, it's going to be a potential wild pitch. See what happens. And it's at 15. I don't know that that's going to grant us any sort of result. 15 says wild pitch if pitcher is an F. And he is an F, so that's a wild pitch. That's going to let a run come in. And spikes a fastball. Lagares scores on the wild pitch, and going to second is Altair. Throw that again. Nothing there. Ahmed Rosario. Oh, and that's a deep drive off Rosario's card. And a 79, and that's going to be a 79, and we roll. That's going to be a deep drive center field. On the run is Phillips on the track and runs it down. Great play by Phillips, F8. But the Mets pick up an insurance run on that wild pitch. And deGrom can go 7. He's 10. How many times has he been through the lineup? Let's see. He's been through the lineup. Blah, 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 blah. This is going to be his, twice, officially twice. So he'll be 7th inning, 2. That'll be only 9. So he's still good, hasn't given up a run. And also, has he, let's see if he's gone 3 consecutive innings. That's 1, 2. So he's got bottom of the 5th, that's 1. Bottom of the 6th, that's 2. If he can go 3 up, 3 down in this inning, he'll get a +1. All right, let's see what happens here. So he's going to be facing Bret Phillips. It's an 87 and an 8, and that's a fly ball center field. Racing in is Lagares, and he gets there. 1 up, 1 down. O'Hearn. And it's a 28 and a 9, and that's going to be a defensive check. And an 82 is a ground ball to shortstop. Nice play by Guillorme. Let's see if Guillorme is a 3. Guillorme is and he is. Great play by Guillorme, and the whole long throw to first in time. Great play. All right, 2 out, and now it's Valoria. 1 more, and Jacob deGrom will be able to complete this game. And a 27 and an 8, and that is strike 3, and that retires the side. He goes 3 consecutive, so he retires 9 batters in a row. He gets a +1. He becomes an 11. So he can go the whole game now. All right, Joe Panic. Barnes is going to be Barnes. Let's see what Barnes did. Yeah, Barnes actually came in and did not do very well. So we're going to have to pull Barnes in this one. And we got a lefty, and then a righty, and then a lefty. So we're going to bring in a lefty, and that lefty is going to be Lovelady is coming in. Love that name, right? You got to love that name, Lovelady. That's his name. I don't know how you get a name like that. Make sure the name means Lovelady. All right, let's see if we can track this down. Get all the cards with deep drive baseball is one thing I really like. So I can play, every player. Because if you don't get every card and the roster has players, in the bullpen that you don't have, then your life becomes miserable. So Richard Lovelady is in there. He's a lefty specialist facing Panic, so he's going to get an advantage. It's a 50-point advantage. I'll show you how that works. Here's a pitch from Lovelady to Panic. And that's going to be a 0-2. So that would be a deep drive off of Panic. So we're going to kick up 50 points, and that's still going to be a deep drive, so it doesn't pay off this time around. But let's see. We may be able to get a home run out of this. Who knows? See what happens. A 51, and that's going to be pulled down the line at the right field corner. After it is Dozier. Big turnaround first, and Panic's going to try for second. Here's the throw. Safe at second base. So that's a leadoff double for Panic. Pete Alonso now. And we're going to walk Alonso. Intentional walk. That sets up the double play. And it's going to be Conforto. Oh. That's a 0-2, and that's going to be a deep drive off Conforto's card again. And a 73 is a ball that's driven deep into, it's over the center fielder's head, and that's going to go off the wall. That's going to score panic. Alonso is going to stop at third. So it's an RBI double for Conforto. Puts the runners on second and third now. Infield is in. Wilson Ramos is going to bring in a new pitcher. That's it for the lefties. And the new pitcher is going to be, I guess Newberry can come in. Should have him there. Jake Newberry's coming in. All right. Wilson Ramos, infield is in. And it's a 65, and that is going to be ball 4. So Ramos walks, bases loaded. Pitched very carefully. Pitched around Ramos. Bases loaded, infield in, nobody out. Todd Frazier. Oh, no, wild pitch. And it's a 20, and that is a strikeout. Frazier down swinging. Luis Guillorme. And it's a 14, and that's ball 4. That's going to force in a run. Juan Lagares. Infield's in, 38 and a 9. That's a fly ball to center field. Conforto is average speed. We may try to score him from third, because that fly ball to center is going to allow that. Fly ball center field. It's going to actually let him score. Average runner scores on that fly ball to center field. All right. So that's another run for the Mets. So Lagares gets credit for an RBI on that fly ball. And now it's going to be Aaron Altair, not a very good hitter, 14. That's a strikeout. Retires the side. But the Mets pick up 3 runs. They lead at 5-0. Nicky Lopez against Jacob deGrom. It's a 24 and a 6, and that is a fly ball, shallow right field. Racing in is Conforto, who gets there for the out. Merrifield. It's the pitch from deGrom. It's a 16, and that's line base hit. 1 out single for Merrifield. No wild pitch. Alex Gordon, a 67 strikeout. High fastball gets Gordon. And now it's Hunter Dozier. 2 outs, 1 on. Hunter Dozier, 5-0 Mets. deGrom is on the mound. The 79 is going to be a defensive check. 78 says comebacker to deGrom, and he bobbles it. Throw to first, not in time. E1 flashes on the scoreboard. It's going to be an error on deGrom. First and second and 2 outs. And now it's Jorge Soler, who has tremendous power. Hit like 48 home runs. And a 33 is not going to do it. Oh, that's a defensive check again. And it's a 94 this time. 94 is a fly ball center field. On the run is Lagares. And I think that's going to go off his glove. And it does go off his glove. And that's going to be 1 run's going to score. And Dozier, let's see if Dozier can get around. He's going to be fast. And no, he's going to hold up at third base. So that's going to be a 2-base error on Juan Lagares. Oh, wait. There. Got to the ball, but should have had it, but kind of hit off the side of his glove. And that's 5-1 now with second and third and 2 outs. And it's going to be Cuthbert. And a 13 is a strikeout. Now retires the side. Let's see how many strikeouts deGrom has in this game. deGrom has 8 strikeouts, about 4 hits in 8 innings. All right, so he's been through, let's double check this now. We may have to pull him now because he gave up a run. Even if it's unearned, it's still a run. He's been through the lineup, faced 32 batters, so that says he's been through the lineup 3 times. So that's going to be already he was at 11. He was at 11. So that's yep, he's gonna get pulled. So deGrom is not gonna get that shutout, not gonna get that complete game. He's gonna get pulled for the next inning, and it's gonna be Ahmed Rosario here. Newberry is gonna be out because Newberry he went that whole inning. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna pitch Newberry and fatigued until he gives up a hit. Now I'm bringing somebody. Rosario. Let's start him off. 77. That's going to be a defensive check, but Rosario can make it a 27, which would be an out. So we're going to go with the defensive check. It's a 64, and a 64 is a ground ball to the second baseman over to first in time. 1 up, 1 down. Panic. 39, and that is going to be a 9. That's going to be a fly ball. Or 50 would make it an 89. Yeah, and that would still be an out. So it's a fly ball to center field. Phillips there makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down. And now it's Alonso. It's a 0-6, and that's going to be a deep drive off Alonso's card. A 95. And that is, wait a second, 95. We roll a 5. That's a deep drive to center field, and running it down is Phillips for the third out. All right, go to the bottom of the ninth. We get a new pitcher for the Mets. Let's see who we're going to bring in here. And it's going to be not Diaz, Familia. We're going to bring in Familia. Jerry Familia used to be the closer for the Mets, but had a horrible season in 2019. I wasn't even sure if he was going to make the team in 2020. Bret Phillips. It's an 18. That's a strikeout. 1 up, 1 down. Ryan O'Hearn. 19. Strikeout. Back-to-back Ks for Jerry Familia. And it's going to be Valoria. And that is a 71. And that's a base on balls. So Nicky Lopez. Here's the pitch from Familia. It's a 31, and that is going to be a ground ball to second baseman. Panic flips to Guillorme, and that's the ball game. We're going to take a quick peek at the box score, make sure we have everybody in there. Familia comes in, pitches an inning. 4 pitchers there, and no defensive replacements. Just the way I like to play it. And the Mets, 4-6 to end the game. Mets win it. Win it by a score of 5-1. Mets had 5 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors. We played this one in, I think, about 32 minutes. So the Mets had 5 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors, and the Royals had 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors. It was Jacob deGrom improves his record to 14-3. This is actually more realistic than in real life, because in real life he was 11-8. Won the Cy Young Award. I mean, come on. The guy gave up 2.5 runs a game, and his team couldn't get him more than 11 wins. Come on. So he's 14-3 here in a replay, which is much more realistic. Jacob Junis is going to take the loss. He's 9-8. MVP of this game is going to be Jacob deGrom, who's got a crazy ERA in this game. Let's take a look at his ERA. I'm going to pull up the box score. Beautiful box score using Replay Baseball. Love their box score. And he improves his ERA to 1.95, deGrom does. Familia came in because of the run that deGrom gave up in that last inning, and he had to get pulled. He was over his pitch count. And then Familia came in for an inning and struck out a couple, gave up a walk. Let's see anybody who, so really it was a masterpiece, a 4-hit masterpiece by Jacob deGrom, struck out 8. For the Mets, the hitting offensive highlights was Panic with 2 hits, Conforto had 2 hits, and Lagares had 2 hits. And everybody's batting more or less what they did in reality. Conforto batted 260, and he's batting 270. Panic batted 240, and he's batting 210. But he hasn't played very much. I mean, he's just starting to play now, so a couple of hits will get him up to the 240. And then Lagares batted, let's see, Lagares is batting 210, and in reality, Lagares batted 213. And then Guillorme is batting 240, and in reality, he batted 246. So as you can see, the results are pretty realistic. Rosario, for example, batted 287 in reality, and in this replay, he's batting 287. Alonso batted 250, and he's batting 230. He's a little bit lower. Ramos batted 280, and he's batting 277. Frazier, let's see, Todd Frazier, he had a low batting average. Yeah, he batted 250, but here he's batting pretty low. He's batting 210. So some players are batting a little bit lower, but that happens in every game, you know. So they get on a little bit of a hot streak, and then all of a sudden they'll be above where they should be, or they get into a little slump, and then they'll drop a few points. And so you can never worry about that. Just have overall fun seeing what guys do and playing good games. And this game was close until the top of the 8th inning. It was 2-0 until the top of the 8th inning, when the Mets broke it open with 3 runs. And I can look at the play-by-play. You can click your play-by-play, and then the top of the 8th inning was when the Mets really kind of separated themselves. It was Richard Lovelace who replaced Jacob Barnes, and then it was Joe Panic who led off the inning with a double. Pete Alonso was intentionally walked, and then Michael Conforto came up, and he slammed one all off the center field wall, drove one over the center fielder's head for a RBI double. Then Wilson Ramos was walked. Todd Frazier struck out. And then with the bases loaded, Luis Guillorme took a high outside fastball for ball 4, and that forced in the second run of the inning. Still only 1 out. Juan Lagares came up and flied out to center field, and Conforto was able to score on the sac fly. That was the 3rd run of the inning, and Aaron Altair struck out. That was 3 big runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base in that inning. But the Mets took a 5-0 lead, and they were able to hold on to that and win it by a score of 5-1. We got one more game with the Kansas City Royals, and we're gonna take a quick peek at who the starting pitchers are in that game. So far, the series is tied at 1 apiece, and it's going to be Sparkman versus Zach Wheeler. So Wheels is going to pitch the next game. That's Zach Wheeler. There he is, against a guy named Sparkman, which I don't even know that I have here. I may have to have him in the extra players. Let's see if we can find Sparkman. I know how you get every single player, but some come in a side set of extra players. What I do is I'm separating the pitchers from the bat. There's it, Glenn Sparkman. Outstanding. There he is. So I got it all set up pretty much. Now I just got to check the lineups real quick. And I like to show you guys how quickly it's done with replay. I don't waste any time having to do all that stuff, which I don't like to do, stat keeping or looking up lineups or all that. Everything's done for you, the actual lineups, the actual rosters. All right, let's see. It's going to be Rosario, Panic, Alonso, Conforto, Ramos, Frazier, Lagares. The only difference is going to be Nito. So Nito's coming in. And who's not playing? Let's see. Conforto, Ramos is there. Frazier is there. Guillorme is not going to be there. So now it's going to be Thomas Nito. I have to bring in Thomas Nito. There he is. And he's going to bat 9th. That's done. Just that fast. And now it's going to be for the Royals. It's going to be, again, Merrifield. Lopez is going to be moved to the 2nd spot. Then Dozier and Soler. Ryan O'Hearn is going to move up. Cuthbert. Bubba is going to come back. Bubba Starling is his name. He got, there he is. Bubba Starling. And then after Starling, it's going to be Bret Phillips. And Nick Denny, the new catcher, Denny. Let's see if I have him in this setup here. I may not have him simply because I have to print out the 1 page of extra players. Sometimes it's 1 or 2 pages, depending. I don't know if I have Denny. I don't think I have him here. So this is good. This break in between the series is going to allow me to go and print that out real quick. Montgomery. That's the batting card from Montgomery. So I said, because he also played with Chicago, so he has a batting card. I do not have Denny here, so I'm going to have to pull Denny from the other set. Now, you know what? And I may have it in here. Hold on a second. This is a second, because you can print out your own. So I have a second team. And I may have Denny here. So this is my second team, which sometimes I print them out by accident. I forget that I have it, and I print it out again, and I said, oh, man. Sometimes I look, but I just don't see it. So by accident, I printed out 2 sets of Kansas City. So we're looking for Denny. Haven't seen him yet, but he may pop up somewhere. Let's see. Now, also, sometimes if Denny finished the season with another team, I may have to, and that's easy to check. You just have to go to Baseball Reference. So if I don't see him in the page of extra players, in the PDF that they send you a PDF, and I like it. I spilled beer on some cards yesterday, so I can just print up new ones, right? So you don't have to be so careful. You don't have to worry about messing them up, getting them dirty. You can just print out a new set whenever you want. Yeah, I don't see Denny here, so I'm going to have to look through the extra players, see if he comes in with the extra players. I don't have him anywhere in here. So this is an extra set. I have set 1 and set 2, and I just keep them in a bag. I feel bad throwing out the nicely printed cards that cost me money to print out by accident, so I try to be more careful. But anyway, I'm an imperfect soul, my friends. I am an imperfect soul. I don't have a, where's my, okay. Rubber band. And the way, what I do here is I look for the ballpark card, and I write set number 2 on it. I don't see the ballpark card now. Let's see. All right. So I'll just put them over here with set 2, and I'll worry about that later. So I can't find Denny, so that's what I'm going to look for. So this is CP Cards and Dice. Let's see. Did they gain any ground on the Nationals? That's a good question. Okay, and I'll find that out right now. Hold on a second. Let me save this game because I already got into it. Once you get into it, you got to save it, and then you can get out of it. So there's a little, I have to click the little disc on top. Now I can get out of it. There it is. So let me look at standings. Let's see. All right, the Mets. Oh, man. No, the Mets dropped a bunch. Wow, the Nationals must be on a tear because now they're 6 games ahead of the Mets. Yep. The Mets, the Nationals must be winning every single game but the Mets, let's see if they're in the wild card chase. Oh, they're 3rd in the wild card chase. It's St. Louis and Cincinnati ahead of the Mets in that wild card race. So the Mets are 2 games behind Cincinnati. So I don't know. Cincinnati, I didn't know they were that good. They're 68 and 55, so they're doing really well. St. Louis is 74 and 48. And so that's right now. We're in 120 games into the season, so things could still change. And yep, Mets are 6 games behind. So this is CP Cards and Dice, and that's it for. I played a doubleheader using Deep Drive Baseball. It took me an hour and whatever, 20 minutes. The first game was a 12-inning affair with 12 pitching changes, and that only took 50 minutes. The second one took me 30 minutes to play. It was deGrom versus Junis. Mets won that one 5-1. Lost the first one by a score of 4-3. This is CP Cards and Dice, and thanks for stopping by. Thanks for saying hello. Give me a thumbs up. Join the Facebook page. Join the Facebook Deep Drive Baseball page. Come over. I'll approve you, but make sure you do it soon because I may change my mind. And this is CP Cards and Dice saying thanks for stopping by. It was great seeing you guys, and I will be surfing the net and watching your games as well. I'll pop in and out and enjoy that. Thank you.